A father sat down one afternoon with an AI coding assistant and built his daughter a fully functional piano learning app. We're not talking about a simple metronome or chord chart. This included live keystroke detection, sheet music rendering, and a Guitar Hero-style rhythm game that dynamically adjusted difficulty as she improved. The story sounds almost too clean to be real, but it happened, and it points to something much bigger than one clever weekend project. For decades, the real bottleneck in software development was never the code. It was the enormous distance between someone who deeply understood a problem and someone technically capable of solving it. A teacher might know exactly what her students need, but couldn't build it. A parent might see precisely how his child learns, but lack the tools to act on that insight. AI-assisted development is collapsing that gap at a speed most people haven't fully registered yet. The person closest to the problem can now become the person who builds the solution. The edtech industry has spent billions of dollars trying to build personalized learning platforms, and the result is usually a slick interface with a one-size-fits-most curriculum hiding underneath. What this dad built in an afternoon would have required a founding team, investor capital, months of development, and a recurring subscription fee to access. Instead, he spent an afternoon with an AI tool and produced something more targeted than any commercial product could offer. Because he wasn't building for a market segment, he was building for one specific kid he knows better than any algorithm ever could. There's a temptation to look at stories like this and conclude that coding expertise is now irrelevant, but that misreads what's actually happening. The person directing an AI coding session still needs to understand what they're asking for, recognize when the output drifts in the wrong direction, and iterate with genuine intention. What's changed is the entry requirement. You no longer need to be fluent in syntax to build something real. But taste, critical thinking, and deep domain knowledge about the problem you're solving, those matter more than ever, not less. The most profound part of this story isn't the technical achievement, it's the specificity. The piano app wasn't built for students aged 6 to 10 with intermediate skill levels. It was built for one child, featuring her favorite songs, calibrated to her exact learning pace, and designed around what she personally finds fun and engaging. Mass-market software optimizes for the average user, which means it's slightly wrong for almost everyone. A tool built by someone who truly knows you can be exactly right, and that's a fundamentally different category of product than anything a startup can ship. The education technology sector has pursued personalization for 20 years through increasingly sophisticated algorithms, adaptive testing engines, and behavioral data collection. Yet the breakthrough in this story came from something completely different, giving a motivated, knowledgeable person the actual ability to build. It turns out that a parent who has watched their child struggle and succeed, who understands their frustrations and what makes them light up, carries more relevant signal than any data set. The tools to act on that knowledge finally exist, and the implications for how we think about learning are enormous. Throughout the history of software, the question of who gets to build has been answered by access. Access to education, to expensive development tools, to teams and funding and time. That answer is being rewritten right now, not gradually, but in a matter of months. The piano app story will never make headlines because it's quiet and personal. But multiply it by millions of parents, teachers, small business owners, and domain experts who now have leverage they never had before. And you're looking at one of the most significant redistributions of creative and economic power in the history of technology. The stories that reshape technology rarely announce themselves loudly. They accumulate in living rooms and classrooms and small offices where someone decided to build the thing they needed instead of waiting for someone else to build it for them. The piano app is a signal, not an outlier, and the people paying closest attention aren't debating whether AI-assisted coding counts as real engineering. They're already building. The real question isn't whether these tools are powerful enough. It's whether we're paying close enough attention to understand what's already quietly changing around us.